Welcome to today's class. We are going to be doing a kind of all levels, just feel good flow. So it's exactly what you need when you don't want to think too much, you don't want to focus on anything particular, you just know that you want to move your body, you just want to feel better. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So when you're ready, find a place on the mat, or don't use a mat. If you can't be bothered with a mat today, clearly I cannot. So just on your carpet is fine too. And go ahead and sit really comfortably, removing the flesh from underneath your sit bones so that you can really root down through your sit bones. You'll bring your hands either to your knees or into your lap, touching through your thumbs if that feels right to you. And then we're going to start just by connecting to the breath. So take a breath in first of all, and as you do, feel some elongation through your spine. So feel that lengthening. Then as you exhale, let your shoulders drop away and let your face begin to soften. So you want to bring your eyes just a bit in front of you and begin to kind of walk them towards you. So that maybe your eyelids become really heavy and your eyes maybe close. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, you can just focus them on a single spot. Becoming aware here of your breath. Noticing the quality of your breath today. Noticing how your body moves with your breath. And then go ahead and take another big breath in through your nose. Drop it out through your mouth, keeping still that length in your spine, but inviting in a bit of softness now. Take care to soften through the jaw, especially through the shoulders, through the space between your eyebrows, these areas where we naturally hold tension in our bodies. And I would invite you to elongate your breath a little here. Just making it a bit deeper, a bit fuller. And noticing once again the effect of your breath on your body. And beginning now to also draw attention to your thoughts, to your heart space, to any particular thoughts or emotions that are weighing on you really heavily today, that are taking up a lot of space in you. And rather than letting them dominate you or trying to force them aside, see if you can just place some distance between yourself and these things. So that they're still happening, perhaps, in the background. They don't go away. But focusing on them for now is really not serving you. So just create some distance. Become more tuned into your breath. And become more tuned into softening. And take another big breath in through your nose, elongating through the spine as you do. Open your mouth side out. And then you can just gently flutter your eyes open, very gently. Okay. And then take an inhale, reaching your hands up overhead, getting a bit of a deeper stretch in, connecting your palms at the top, and then gathering to your heart center. Reach your hands out to the side, spin your palms to face out so that you feel your shoulders roll down your spine, and then draw them all the way around and up, connecting your palms. gathering them to your heart center. One more time, sending your hands to the sides, palms facing up, breathing in, reaching around and up. And into your heart center. This time, you'll just drop your left hand to the floor beside you and inhale your right hand up. And then over across to the side. And it might feel nice here to just bring the right hand underneath your head. Maybe bring your gaze up as well. Creating a lot of space through the right ribs, through the side body, and actively pressing your right hip into the ground. You should feel a nice gooey stretch. And just one more breath here. And then you can come all the way back up. Dropping the right hand to the floor and then spinning the left palm to face up. Bringing it all the way around and over through the side body, and perhaps hooking your left hand behind your neck, drawing your elbow open and lifting your gaze. And continue to press into the left sit bone to facilitate that lengthening. One more breath. And then you can release your head, come all the way back up. And then we're just gonna drop that left hand behind you, about a foot behind your bottom. And then reach the right hand up. And then as you exhale, you'll take a little twist through your belly. So you're bringing your gaze right over your left shoulder and you're hooking the back of the left hand onto your left knee. And take an inhale once you're here in the twist to get some more length. And as you breathe out, bring your gaze over the left shoulder. So every breath that we have, we're just gently working a bit more into the twist. It should feel really nice. One more breath here. And then let your next inhale carry that right hand all the way up, the left hand all the way up. Then drop the right hand behind you, hook the back of the left hand onto the right knee. Okay, take that inhale, feel the length, and as you exhale, bring your gaze over your right shoulder this time. Again, once you're here in the pose, take a breath in, elongate, exhale, twist. And use every breath. Okay, one more breath here. And then let your next inhale reach that right hand up, the left hand meets it, palms touch, and then you'll bring them to your heart center. And you're gonna take a hold of your knees. Take a breath in, and as you do, you're gonna pull your chest forward and up and squeeze your shoulder blades back together and behind you, so down your spine. Maybe lift your gaze as well, opening up through Jalandhara Bandha, through the throat. And then as you exhale, pull your belly button into your spine, so you're gonna round all the way through your spine, see if you can get a kind of slinkiness to the spine. Hold onto your knees and pull back, tuck your chin to your chest. Okay, breathe in and send the belly forward, slinking through the spine. Send the heart forward, squeeze your shoulders back and down. As you exhale, draw your belly in, round through the spine, curl it round. So we're kind of doing cat-cow pose, but in a seated position and really focusing on this kind of movement of the spine. Take an inhale, projecting the heart forward and up. Shoulder blades down. Exhale, round it out. Okay, last one. Breathing in, opening up. Exhale, round it out. And then just find your way back to center. Roll over your knees now. Find your way onto all fours, stacking your hands right underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Take a big breath in through your nose. Exhale out the mouth, let it drop out. And on your next inhale, you're going to lift your hips up into a downward facing dog. And when you get there, explore the downward facing dog, bending one knee and then the other. So just feeling your way into whatever is going on for you in your hips and your hamstrings today. And then come to stillness when you're ready, spreading your fingers out nice and wide, pressing through your knuckles and your fingertips to send your hips up and away. Take an inhale and draw your hips up. Exhale to press down through the heels. You might have to bend your knees, that's fine too. But continue this movement, this inhale to press the hips up. Exhale to draw the knees down. So every breath has intention and movement. Okay, you're going to walk your feet to your hands now into ragdoll pose. And you're going to interlace your fingers this time and bring your hands behind your head. So you're going to hook your pinky fingers just into that nook of your skull where they can kind of rest. Bend through your knees and then just allow yourself to hang here, getting a lot of length through your spine. And it should feel really nice as your hands assist gravity to get some length through the neck and through the spine. Okay, and then you can gently release the hands to the floor. Bend your knees really deeply so that you can curl up through your spine, coming all the way to standing. Gathering your hands up overhead and then to your heart center. Okay, take a breath in now. Reach your hands up, palms spin out, shoulders curl down. And then as you exhale, fold yourself forward. You may still bend here at the knees if you would like to. And then you'll bring your hands to the floor or to blocks, whatever you've got. And then as you take an inhale, you're going to lengthen your chest forward, sending the backs of your knees back. And then on the exhale, you're going to draw your right knee towards your right elbow so that your body starts to curl into a kind of C shape. So if I was looking at you from above, you would look like a C with your spine. So the left hip curls back and your head starts to curl around to the right hand side with the right hip. If you suffer a lot from sciatica, this is where you may really start to feel that nerve impingement. And I would encourage you to just breathe space into it. And then find your way back to center on the inhale. Exhale to curl the other way. So just the left knee now moving towards the left elbow as you curl your body into a kind of backwards facing letter C. And then draw it back to the center. Okay, and then pull your belly into your spine. As you inhale, you're just going to lift your left foot up behind you. Lift it up nice and high, squeeze it up. Then as you exhale, you're going to drop your foot to the floor, bend through the right knee. You're going to come all the way into a low lunge. So your left knee will drop to the floor and you'll scoot your way forward into a low lunge. And then you can relax that back foot as well. There's no need to do any work there. We're gonna start to make some space through the left hip flexor here. So if you're comfortable here, stay here. You also have the option to come up onto the knee if you want to. But wherever you are, you wanna think about creating a pull between the right heel and the left knee. So you're not just flopping into the pose. There's still a gentle activation. So you're still supporting yourself here. And this stretch is coming from a well-supported, strong place, not just from a collapse into the hip bone. And there's a temptation here to kind of drop through your chest. Try to stay lifted through your chest. Breathe some deep breaths into the belly, making space right into that hip flexor. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, see if you can keep your thigh and your belly kind of glued together as you straighten through the right leg. And draw your right toes in towards your face. And then think about pulling that right hip back, pressing the left hip forward. If you don't have a lot of space, come up a little bit higher. Take some support on either side. Hold onto some tables, some blocks, a small child, whatever you have. Wherever you are is fine. But we're always thinking about getting the belly to rest on the thigh. So we're going to roll forward again into that low lunge, trying as best you can to keep the belly glued into the thigh. And we're going to move with the breath. So as you breathe in, you'll elongate your chest forward. Drag the right heel towards the left knee. And then as you exhale, see if you can keep the belly glued to the thigh as you peel back. And then draw your right toes towards your face. Draw the right hip back, left hip forward. Breathe in, roll forward. And then breathe out, roll back. Okay, one more time, breathing in, rolling forward. And then breathing out, rolling back. Okay, roll forward now, and you're going to bring the left foot across to the left wrist. And roll lower down into a half pigeon pose, so just dropping into that hip. So take some support, grab a pillow maybe, and place a pillow perhaps underneath your right hip so that you don't feel like you're gonna collapse and break everything in your hip. Make sure you're well supported. Check behind you to make sure that your hip and your knee and toes are pointing directly backwards. So that way we keep the stretch all the way through the front and it doesn't move into other places, which is fine, it's just not the intention here. So we'll take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, walk your fingers down. You can rest your forehead on your arms, perhaps, or straight onto the floor if you would like. If this is too much on your knee, then what you'll do is you'll come onto your back instead. And you'll hook your left foot onto the knee, hook your right foot onto your left knee and draw your left knee into your chest. So you can bring your hands over the top of the left shin or underneath. So that's a good alternative for you if you find that half pigeon is really very inaccessible, which it can be. It requires already quite a lot of openness through the hips and a lot of mobility in the knee. So wherever you are, just see if you can stay connected to a deeper, fuller kind of breathing. See if you can make certain that you are relaxing through your face, through your jaw, through your forehead. And relaxing through your shoulders as well. One more breath here. And then you'll find your way back up. So nice and slowly now onto all fours. Removing that cushion. So scoot yourself back onto all fours, or come back onto all fours if you're lying on your back. And then you'll curl your toes, lifting up through your hips, so back into that downward facing dog. Okay. Then you'll step your feet to your hands. Take ragdoll pose with the tops of your hands resting on the floor and your palms facing up. Bend very deeply at the knees. You can shake it out here side to side, maybe backwards, forwards. Then as you breathe in, draw your belly to your spine and pull all the way up. reaching your hands up overhead, and then gathering them to your heart center. Okay, and breathe in and reach up. Breathe out, whoopsie. Breathe out and come all the way down. You can bend your knees here if you need to. You'll take an inhale and elongate yourself forward, send the backs of your knees back to get some length, and then lift up through that right foot. So spin it all the way up, squeeze through the right glute, bend the left knee, and you'll start to lower it behind you. Slowly dropping now onto the right knee and into a low lunge on the opposite side. Okay. So take some time to make sure that your knee is over your ankle or slightly behind it, and that you're not dropping out into the hip too much. So your knee is pointing forward here. Again, you have all of the options available to you. So you can stay here, you can come up onto the knee, that's more comfortable for you. You can take some support by the sides. But you want to think about, again, pulling back through the front heel and pressing forward through the left knee. So that you really are supported here. Even though we're stretching, it's coming from a place of stability. Taking a few breaths right into the base of your belly. Take an inhale now. And then as you exhale, you're going to straighten out through the left knee, keeping your belly as close to the left thigh as possible, pulling your left toes in towards your face. Again, come up if you need to come up. Take some support if you need to. But think about drawing this left hip back, pressing the right hip forward. And the action here is to get the belly onto the thigh. So we're not rounding through the back, we're keeping nice and long in the spine. So even if your belly doesn't touch your thigh, that's the intention, so that maybe one day it does. Okay, and then as you inhale, you can creep yourself forward into this lunge, lifting up through your chest as well. Don't be tempted to collapse through the spine. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to round yourself into that half split, pulling the left toes in, keeping your belly moving towards the thigh. Okay, so breathe in, roll forward through the hip, and breathe out, roll back. Breathe in, roll forward, and breathe out, roll back. Breathe in, roll forward. Breathe out, roll back. Last one, make it a good one. Pull back on that left hip, press the right hip forward. Okay, and then come forward. Scooting the right foot now across to the right hand so that we can drop into half pigeon on the other side. Again, if your hip is not flat on the floor here, put a support underneath it. Get a cushion underneath there. And then check to make sure that your right foot is in line with your knee, in line with your hip, and the toes are pointing backwards. Top of your foot is resting flat on the floor. Get some height, some elevation through the inhale. And as you exhale, you can come down. Again, either resting your head on your forearms or forehead on the floor, or taking the alternate version, lying on your back and hooking your left ankle over the right knee and then interlacing your fingers behind your right thigh. Still looking for that same stretch, but just in a different way. A way that's more safe for your knee and more accessible for your hips if you're very tight through the hips. And take note here of any kind of tightness, stress that you're holding in your face through your shoulders. And as best you can, just let that go. Let it go. Okay, one more breath here. Make it count. And then you'll find your way back up onto all fours. Okay, get rid of that pillow now. And then you're gonna lower yourself all the way down onto your belly. All the way onto your belly. And you're gonna bring your hands right underneath you, your shoulders right underneath you, sorry. No, what are these called? Elbows. Your elbows right underneath you, in line with your shoulders and your middle finger pointing forward. Bring your feet a bit wider as well, so that you release a bit through the hips. And you're gonna press in through your forearms, lifting through the crown of your head. Making a lot of space and length through your spine and through the front part of your belly. Breathing some nice full breaths here. If this is too much on your lower back, then just come down to the floor and you can rest your chin on your hands. Same process. And just counteracting all of that forward bending through the spine that we tend to find ourselves doing all day. Slouching in our chairs, looking at our phones, working on our computers. Breathe nice full breaths in here. The deeper here that you breathe into your belly, you can kind of feel yourself expanding from the inside out. So you're using the breath to stretch, as well as stretching it from the outside in. So you're doing all of the work. Okay, one more breath here. And then just soften all the way down, resting your forehead on your hands. Second, just to sit with the effect of the pose. And then slowly pressing yourself back into child's pose. So bring your knees together, and then you can let your belly rest on your thighs, forehead on the floor. Bring your hands by your sides, your palms facing up. And then very slowly, you can just cross at your ankles and come to lie on your back. And then on your back, hug your knees into your chest, tuck your chin as well, so you get that length in your spine. Hug your knees in really tightly. And then keep a hold of the right knee and extend the left leg out. Draw your right knee in towards your right armpit. And then over and across your body. So we're moving into a supine twist chair. You might want to pick your hips up as well and place them back down so you can really move into the twist. And you can let your right hand fall out to the side. So this is a lot for you. This feels really inaccessible. Then again, place this cushion underneath your right knee, or you can bring the left knee underneath the right. So actually you're kind of lying on your side, but you're spinning the upper body open. Choose your choice, choose your intensity. But make sure here that you're still able to breathe fully and deeply. Your left hand is resting very gently on the knee. If you want to go a bit deeper, you can even cactus that right arm. So take a bend in the elbow. Open you even more through the shoulder and through your spine. Relieving you of a lot of pressure in your lower back. If you're someone who experiences a lot of lower back pain just because of your lifestyle, then this should feel really very good for you. And then you can find your way back to center. Move nice and slow as you come back to the taking some time to realign your spine, hugging your knees into your chest. Nice big hug with your knees. Okay. And then just across the other side. So extend the right leg out, hug your left knee right into the armpit before you bring it over and across your body. Once again, maybe picking up the hips to stack them. And then letting the right hand rest on the knee and your left arm drop out to the side. You can bring your gaze over to your left hand as well, if that's accessible for you. Or take some extra support, so bring your right knee underneath your left. Easing the twist in your spine a little if you need it. And if you want to go a bit deeper, of course, you have this option to cactus the left arm. So bend the left hand up. Get a bit deeper into the shoulder, the front of the shoulder. And the left part of your chest. And once again, the more fully and deeply that you can breathe into your belly, the more you'll feel that really nice stretch. And just one more breath here, make it count. And then we're going to find our way back to the center. So moving again very gently back into the center, taking some time to reset the spine and hugging your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hugging with your knees. Tuck your chin to your chest. And then we'll extend the legs out and take a Shavasana to finish. So you can let your feet just fall wide. And let your hands drop out to the sides, your palms facing up. Stay here if this is good for you, if this feels nice. Or you can bring your feet wide and knock your knees together, taking some strain off the lower back if you struggle with your back. Then take this variation instead. Allow your whole body to soften, especially through your hips, your belly, your shoulders, your jaw, and your forehead. All these areas where we tend to hold stress and tension. As best you can, see if you can actively release and relax them. And as you relax through your physical body, so too does your breath soften. And so too do your thoughts soften. And as your thoughts soften, so too does your body. So too does your breath. And on goes this cycle. We're continually relaxing, releasing, and resting. Giving ourselves a well-deserved time out. You have nowhere to be, nothing to do. So as best you can, be all here. And gently now, just bring your awareness back by becoming aware of the sounds around you. And becoming aware of the weight of your body, the sensation of fabric underneath in your body, against your body, and the floor underneath you, whatever you're lying on, the carpet, the mat. And you can perhaps take some wiggles through the fingers and the toes. And then soften yourself over onto your side nice and slowly. Sitting for a moment here with the effect of the pose. And before you support yourself with your hand to come up to seated, keep your eyes closed. And you can gather your hands together at your heart center, feeling the heat between your palms, and taking the last few moments to sit in stillness and silence. And then bring your thumbs to your foreheads, an acknowledgement and gratitude for your practice. Namaste. I hope you're feeling wonderful, or at least better than you felt when you came in. If you like this video, then please do go ahead and give it a thumbs up and share it with anybody who you think could do with feeling a little bit better today. And I hope that you have a wonderful day ahead of you.